I'm Wendy Doyle, President and CEO of United We. Welcome to the latest episode of the Take 3 video series, our monthly dose of inspiration from barrier-breaking women. Today, we're welcoming Susan Coatar, Vice President and Chief of Staff at Centene Corporation. Susan is a member of our Missouri Women's Economic Development Task Force, where we're extremely grateful for her initiative and commitment to empowering women across the state. We are so grateful, too, for the generous support from Centene for our town hall sessions taking place throughout Missouri throughout the end of this month. Susan, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today.
My pleasure, Wendy. Thank you for having me. I know Centene is so energized that you all are doing this important work and going around the state to listen to what women need. And myself personally, I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing. So thank you for having me today and for including Centene in this important work.
And thank you too for your participation on the Missouri Women's Economic Development Task Force. I think a first question to ask you, Susan, is as a member of that group and what we have achieved and spending time, around the state with the town hall sessions, what really excites you the most about this work over the last 4 months?
I would say the courage and energy that women have in coming to the table, right? Putting all that we have going on, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today is how much women have on their plates and how much it's growing, month over month, year over year, especially now with COVID, right? And with all those things going on, women are taking the time to show up and say, here's what's important to me. Here's how I'm helping my community. Here's how we can help each other better. Right. And creating that space and the fact that people are using that space is so exciting and so empowering. And it's how we get to the next level of making sure that we are supporting each other is by listening to each other. And it's incredible to hear people showing up across the state to do that.
Well said. And I think, an inspiration for me is, a takeaway. So many women have said that they haven't had the opportunity to have these conversations. So well said. Our next question, paid family leave is one of United We's key initiatives, and we know that better policies allow more women to contribute to the workforce. We're so proud that Centene is a corporate leader, and has a tremendous paid family leave policy. Can you tell us more about the benefits to employees, and what do you think a paid family leave policy why is a paid family leave policy so important?
Yes, absolutely. So this is one of the things that makes me so proud to work at Centene is how thoughtful our team is about making sure we're offering benefits that meet our employees where they are. So before I talk about the benefits that we offer, I think it's important to share a little bit about our workforce. So Centene across the country employs about 70,000 individuals. Of that workforce, 75% are women, which is really incredible, right? 52% people of color, and then we also are very inclusive of people with disabilities, veterans, LGBTQ, right? Making sure that we truly have a diverse and representative workforce, which is so important for the work that we do, which is serving really vulnerable populations, making sure they have access to healthcare, right? So with that kind of context of who our workforce is, what our team's been so thoughtful about is making sure we really understand what's going on in the lives of our workforce, right? What are the day-to-day things that people are dealing with, both when they're at work and also outside of work? Because we all know, right, there's not an actual firewall between the two, right? If there's something stressful going on at home, you bring that to the workplace with you. And we want to make sure we're giving our employees the opportunity to show up fully for our members every single day. So designing benefits that make that possible by alleviating some of those barriers, right? So one of the big ones that we identified is the need to be a caregiver, right? 61% of caregivers are women. This ranges from adult caregiving to child caregiving, and all of it's stressful, right? And if not stressful, minimum time consuming. So making sure that we acknowledge that this is going on in, at least the majority of our workforce lives, if not everybody, at least the majority, and figuring out how we can design incentives to help make sure that that responsibility that we know our workforce is carrying is that we're caring for that as much as possible. What we've done is offered our employees up to 4 weeks of paid caregiver leave, which they can use if they're caring for a sick family member, or if they're caring for a newborn, right? So much broader than just traditional paid parental leave, making sure that we're being inclusive of all of the different caregiver needs our employees might have. So if they've got a sick family member or something else going on, they can use this up to 4 weeks of time to make sure that they can be present in that space, while also making sure they get the appropriate vacation time to rest, and also making sure they can show up in person. So making sure we're being as flexible with our workforce as possible.
Susan, Centene is such a corporate leader in this work. So thank you so much for sharing that. As having a strong and a majority female workforce, what can other corporations and organizations take away from Centene's work to improve working conditions such as daycare, flexible work schedule, perhaps tutoring for women and their families?
It's a great question, right? And I think it comes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, that we need to make sure we're listening both to each other, but then from a corporate leadership perspective to the needs of our workforce, right? What are the day-to-day challenges that are stopping your workforce from absolutely thriving in all aspects of their lives? And then how much of that can you alleviate? So for us at Centene, right, it's very important to us to offer very high quality childcare in a child education center, right? So that our workforce knows their kiddos are in the very best hands possible, that their development's totally up to speed while they're at work, offering healthy food to our workforce and to their kiddos that are in our care, right? And then offering those kind of wraparound supports that you said that make day-to-day life easier. Workplace flexibility is so important. And then also making sure that in the workplace, when people are back, they've got a safe landing spot to talk about what's going on. So employee engagement groups we have found to be such an important tool to make sure women are able to connect with women in similar situations, share what works for them, share their frustrations, whatever it is. And then we also, try to come up with as many innovative partnerships as we can. So you mentioned tutoring. Centene is actually partnered with Varsity Tutors to make sure that our workforce and their families can have access to kind of any sort of additional educational need they need, to make sure that, when people are at work, they don't have to fret as much about, well, how are we going to get so-and-so up to speed? So making sure that we're able to really be thoughtful to what the needs are, and then find the right solution or partnership to meet that need. And it all comes back to listening, knowing our workforce, and making sure that when they're here, they're able to be as focused as possible on the important work that we do each day.
Susan, thank you so much for sharing that information. And I think a key takeaway here is the listening part. I think Centene Corporation does an amazing job of listening to their employees. I want to thank you for this meaningful conversation and for your leadership within the Centene Corporation, and for being a part of our Missouri Women's Economic Development Task Force. It means so much to us. And thanks to everyone for tuning in today for our latest Take 3 segment. We hope that you enjoy your day. Thank you.